Alright guys, it's Birmingham GT here. Gonna do a little unboxing for you. Got myself a new car, so hopefully this should be it. I'll be pretty upset if it's not. Okay, Birmingham GT here. I'm about to give this a little trial run. Got two batteries here. I've got a 3S and a 2S. There's my 3S and there's my 2S, and still charging. 2 hours and 5 minutes, 10 minutes later, and we're still charging. Just unreal. 2 hours and still charging. So yeah, still waiting for a green light or that red light to change. So yeah, the new battery out the car stock. 2 hours later and I'm still charging. In the meantime, dug out me some batteries, charged them up. I've got a, let's get focus, a 60 amp brushed EC, which can handle 2 and 3S, LiPo or Nikkei. As you can see, forward, reverse switches and so forth. It is just your normal brushed EC with a Dean's connector, not like this thing on here. So I'll be taking this out and putting that in, so I can run LiPos and all kinds on there with my Dean's connector. I've got a Dean's connector converter to convert to my XT60s as well, so that shouldn't be a problem. Got my little Dean's connector converter, as you can see. So I'm going to stick that in there as well. But before I do, I'm going to run it completely stock as it is, GPS run, check the time on it. Then I'm going to change over the EC, run it again, and see what speeds we get with this 2S or this 3S. So all in all, I'll give you a speed run, one on its stock format and then one with my slight upgrade setup and running my 2S and 3S. So altogether, the first run of this car will be on 3 different batteries, 2 setups, and obviously along with just checking out the performance and everything else on the car. Let's take this outside. Okay, 4 hours to charge the battery and we're ready to go. In the meantime, while charging the battery, done a few upgrades before I even drove it, just to improve stuff which I know is going to need doing. Suspension was pretty soft, so I put 650 shock oil in there, so that improved it a little bit. And then I put the spacers in there, which just firms up the suspension a bit more. I adjusted where I mounted them. There's 2 holes in the front and rear, so I put them on the furthest hole to lower the car down more, so the car sits more level rather than upright. As you can see when I lift it, that is its highest travel, and down to the floor. Stuck a few stickers on. As you can see, I stuck them where I wanted to stick them, not where it shows on the picture. I just took whatever stickers I liked and stuck them on. I only put a few. I'm not going to stick any on the rear spoiler right now because I am going to spray that black, and I'm going to spray my wheels black. But at the moment, this is ready to go now. Battery's charged, so we're going to take him outside and give you a little run and see what it's doing, see what speeds we can get. My 110th HSP. Nice, like it, ready to go. Ready to go. All Birmingham GT ready to give you a speed run on a 2S LiPo. As you can see, the colours change. I've sprayed the white plastic wheels and plastic spoiler. I've sprayed them black just to give it my own little look. So let's see how quick we can go on a 2S, and then I'll take it off and give you a closer look at the battery. It's running brushed setup, so we're not expecting too much. What I'll need to do is turn this on. Okay, side, that's on. So just let it find GPS signal. Okay, We've got signal. Battery's low. It's reading 6 miles an hour. I'm assuming when I get moving it should give us a more accurate speed. Interesting. I think I might have to adjust some settings coming off the power and it's hitting the brakes. Something's not right. It's driving on its own. Fucking EC's crap. Look guys, EC burnt out on the first run. EC burnt out on the first run. That is crap. On the first run guys, EC burnt out. 24 miles an hour. We got out of there, but the EC burnt out on the first run. I swapped out the EC. The EC's melted. So yeah, this brushed EC that I used crap. So we're gonna have to go back to the old EC and change the battery connector. These wires fell off because it was burnt out. As you can see. Oh, come on. Focus. 2 to 3S LiPo nickel. 60 amp. Take 2. And I've only got 21 miles an hour running it on the standard ESC. Okay, just done a run with 2S. I got 21 mile an hour out of this car, running with the standard setup. I just changed the 2S battery from a nickel high battery to this LiPo battery, 6,600 milliamps, and I've put thicker shock oils in, I put the spacers in, stiffened up the suspension, repositioned them just to give the ride height, to bring the ride height down a little, so it's not riding up as so high, but it still will bottom out. So we will get all that sorted when the new shocks come. These shocks only have metal caps, the rest of it's all plastic. It's all plastic, so they're not going to be strong. It's just plastic with metal caps. As it is standard like this, it runs fine. With the brushed motor in there on a 2S, it runs lovely. Can't really do donuts. High speed, you know, it's 21, so it's between that 21, 25 mile an hour mark, you know, standard out of the box. You can see my own little touches. I sprayed the wheels and I sprayed the spoiler. GPS just for speed runs. I've put the 3S battery in there because I'm going to take it out now and give it a run on 3S and see how fast we can get on a 3S battery. As you can see, there is a 3S in there. I'll just open that up. It's a 3S battery in there. Same as the 2S, just the 3S. And that's only to 2200 milliamps. Whereas the other one's 6600 on the 2S. There we go. It's a bit of Velcro under the battery to help it sit under there nicely. It's got 2 levels as well, so if you put in a thinner battery in, you can lower it down. I haven't wired up my fan to the motor yet because it doesn't get hot enough. As you know, I burnt out my ESC, which has fallen off the table somewhere, so I'll dig that out and show you that. Sorry about the lighting, guys. It's evening now, so there's no light coming in from outside, so I'm working with the indoor lights, as you can see. There you go, turned on my light, so you won't get too much shadow interference. Sorry about that. Yeah, I burnt out the EC, I changed the brushed EC, I changed that, burnt out within literally like 5 minutes of taking it out, it burnt it out. Started driving on its own, braking, reversing, and literally I drove it into myself just to grab hold of it and switch it off. And it's smoking like crazy, all in the case cover. It was just smoke pouring out everywhere. Then you could see the flashes of lights. I knew it was on fire, burning. So I popped the cover off everything, and it was literally on fire. It was burning all around in here. So I blew it out and literally just put back the old one in. I've just took off the end connection that I didn't like, and I put my own connection on there. So I'm running the standard, what comes with it. The other brushed ESC actually went 3 mile an hour quicker. It done 24 mile an hour. On this one, it's doing 21 mile an hour. So I'm not too fussed. It's all going to get changed anyway. I'm just running it at the moment standard, seeing how it all works, and you know, just getting a feel for the car. Yeah. So next run's going to be now on a 3S. As you can see, loads of space for a battery. Loads of space for a bigger battery. So we're going to give this 3S a run. See how quick it runs on a 3S. I reckon between 25 and 30 mile an hour. I don't think it's going to go any quicker than 30 mile an hour on this 3S, but we'll give it a go. It's a heavy car, so I don't think it's going to go too fast. But when I do change to brushless, that's when you're going to see a completely different car. But at the moment, as it is running like this, I reckon with 3S I might be able to do some donuts and, you know, really get it performing a lot better. But yeah, I could do with a 3S with more milliamps, so that's not going to last long, maybe 10-15 minutes if that. Whereas that thing lasted 10 minutes, that's probably going to last 15 minutes, 10-15 minutes, whereas that You know, I'm going to get a good half hour, 45 minutes out of this battery. You know, it's going to last 3 times longer than that, so I'm guaranteed at least half hour out of this. My charger can't even charge it up to 6.6, it only goes up to 6, so I'm not even fully charging it, which is probably better for the battery. It'll last longer, never being fully charged and reused, and never really dying flat either. So yeah, should last a long time. Good brand, hard case. Just need a 3S, the same, but I will buy 6,000, not anything above, because my charger doesn't charge anything above, or I'll have to buy a new charger, which I'm going to do anyway when I start going up to 4S, 6S, 8S, but not in this buggy. But this buggy I'm looking to take it up to 4S, maybe 6, depends on how it handles 4S. It's my HSP 110 scale. I think the part number for this buggy is 94107. Brushed version. There's 3 versions, I believe. A brushed version, a brushless version with a different spur gear and pinion size. I think it has a little touch more aluminium in the steering and so forth, has the aluminium parts. And then the Pro version, which has metal, aluminium track rod ends and so forth, and it has the same pinion and spur as this one, but more obviously with a brushless motor, so you're going to get even more speeds. So what this is coming with, this actually, I actually opened it up, and it has a plastic gear in there, like a carbon fiber looking plastic spur gear. So yeah, I've ordered a 64 tooth. I've got a 29 tooth pinion coming, and I believe this is like a 27 tooth or something like that on there, or maybe even smaller, a 23 tooth it says in the book, but we'll soon see. Yeah, there's nothing else to really talk about at the moment, so it's just a look at my new buggy and what I've done to it so far.